How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're watching Pack and his branded BYSTIAL deck. Let's dive into it. If you want 5% off any single or sealed product and want to support me and the channel, head over to tierzerogames.com and use code GALZO5 at checkout. So Pack, if you don't know Pack, one of the best players in the world, the remote YCS champion, very big streamer, YouTuber. Of course, go head over to his channel on YouTube and Twitch and see this video for yourself. But the title, I was very surprised and very happy to see this. My favorite deck to play during Shizu tier format, branded BYSTIAL deck profile. So I suppose Pack actually knows that this is a very popular deck. People like this. This brings the views, obviously. But also he says this is not a rogue strategy. So I really want to go into this video, watch this together with you guys, and kind of give my thoughts about the build and the strategy. I also have it over on DB so we can look at the whole deck together and not the profile. So let's jump right into it. Leave a thumbs up in the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new, obviously. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna mute him for now. He's playing 3 Aluber, he's playing 1 Adlib and 1 Tragedy. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, so these cards, you don't really want to draw them, but you still need them in your deck for like grind games. And ad libitum like helps you like recycle back Mirror Jade, so it's really good. And then Tragedy lets you like banish it from the graveyard to like reset spells and traps, which can come up because like sometimes you need to like, if they mill you a lot, you need to be able to like reset like your branded regained, which lets you like have an infinite grind game pretty much. But yeah, so these are pretty much like the Spear cards, just 5.
So that's interesting. No Dramaturge. I can understand that, even though Dramaturge is very strong against things like Kalos. Even with branded opening, you just slap it down. You can chain it to instant fusion, just have it on the board, and once they summon the Kalos, you just negate it immediately with the Dramaturge. So it is strong. 1 Tragedy is interesting. I did play 1 Tragedy for a while, then I kind of moved back to 2, and he is playing the Frightful Patchwork, so I think the ad libitum makes sense in that regard, because you do want to hard fusion it to summon the Mirror Jade back.
One of the Albazes, and I just lose the game. So
yeah,
I kind of like having 2.
You have to play 2 at least, maybe 3. Patchwork Engine.
This can be cut down to 2.
Yeah, I agree. I play 2 currently.
Right now, but I think it can honestly be cut down to 2, to be quite honest, because you don't really like make Lubellion as much. You kind of make Albion more when you activate Brand Fusion.
Well, you do make the Albion first, then you go into Lubellion, and this is the best discard probably in the deck. This and Saronir, maybe. So I would argue that you don't make Lubellion from your deck, but you definitely do make Lubellion during your combo.
So I think only one of this is fine.
Frp.
And then for the BYSTIAL engine, I play 3
slaps the cards.
3 Saronir, 3 Druidworm.
3/3. You know my thought about like competitive builds, YCS builds, and casual builds. I think that we don't all go to YCSs every day in regionals. A lot of you guys watching the channel right now, we mostly play at locals, right? So the BYSTIAL count can be very bricky in this deck. If you're playing against decks that don't actually lose to it, you should be playing enough because you do have a bigger BYSTIAL engine. But this number, you should kind of take care and see what you actually play against in locals, so you don't actually waste a lot of space on BYSTIALs that you don't need in your day-to-day.
There's not much to say about this. Saronir is like infinitely better in this deck.
Yeah, Saronir is really good because you can actually send cards like Retribution to Lubellion. I think this is absolutely correct. 1 Albion he's playing. I mean, there's not much to say about that. I think you should be playing 2 Lubellion. I don't think that you should be playing 3. A lot of people have been playing 3. I personally think it's a lot more brickier than playing 2. 2 is the perfect amount because 1, it's going to be banished by a BYSTIAL, and 2 is just so good. Albion is really good. So he's not playing Dramaturge, no Merc, no Cartesia. That's basically it, I suppose. I don't know. I think that Branded lost right now. If he has Branded lost on the field, he can't search for Mercurier. He can't search for Cartesia, which is really good at times. He can't search for You can basically search only for Albion and Fallen Balbaz, which is okay, but sometimes you just go through your Albion and then you don't have a search off of Branded Lost because you don't want to take an Albaz out of your deck necessarily, especially if you're playing 2. So I kind of disagree with that, I suppose. I think that Branded Lost is amazing, and of course those one-offs can be really sometimes bricky. I guess that's what he's trying to do, but maybe I would cut down on one Drewsworm and one Serenir to add Cartesia and Mercurier, because Mercurier is actually insane in this format. It's really good. It's also really good to get banished. Yeah, so he's playing Lost, which is amazing. One red and one regained. I think regained is amazing. I think redded one is also, I think, the correct call. So I think this is the most different thing that he's playing in his deck. Pot of Prosperity, he says in this video, and let's hear what he has to say, actually.
You're quite bricky when it goes first. Like,
Yeah.
you have a lot of Bystials. You have only like.
So play less Bystials. I don't really think that you should play 11.
If you count like the amount of starters, it's like 3 Aluber, 3 Branded Fusion. So like, and then 3 Branded Openings. So you only really have like 9 starters. So I wanted to play 3 Prosperity to like make the starter count go from like 9 to like 12. Especially if you play like 3 Bystials, you want a lot of 1-card like starters. So like, and also Prosperity lets you see like the combination of Branded Fusion plus Branded Lost more consistently.
That's
together,
really important.
which is like the best combination, like beat like all the hand traps in the format.
I agree.
So that's kind of like the reason why I wanted to play 3 Prosperity.
That's interesting. I think like for extra consistency, this deck is fairly consistent as it is. He's showing the side deck now, but I do agree that if you, since this deck does have a lot of one-offs and a lot of Bystials, it can be bricky at times going first, where you don't actually have like a way to get to, you know, Branded Fusion. So that's cool. That's interesting. Might try that out. We got the Frightfur stuff, 2 Patchwork, 2 Poly, 1 Beast, 1 Retribution, and 1 Banishment in the main deck. So I think the Banishment in the main deck is really cool. And we'll see in a second why. Because obviously Red and Banishment lose to things like Bystials or Shufflers. But we'll see in a second why he actually plays it. We'll go through his extra deck. Side deck, 3 Talents. I suppose that makes sense. Talents is really good. I don't really like the Bells. I don't think they're going to do enough for you. They can negate the Bystials and the Shufflers that sort of interrupt your plays. This is the theory behind why he's playing Bell, is to prevent your Brand Fusion or like the Albion follow-up, the Tragedy, the Red, the Banishment. Bell basically protects all of them, but I think this deck does need more powerful things in the side, like a bit more blowout stuff, except for like protection. But again, if your locals is all Ishizu tier players, maybe it has some merit to it. 3 Zombie World, 1 Banshee. I would cut 1 Zombie World. I think that you can, if you just simply go, like, you can toss this away with Branded Fusion. I don't think you really want to draw the Zombie World. I mean, I guess it's good, but I don't know. Why 3? Like, why 3 Zombie World? You're gonna, if you get to Branded Fusion, you already have the Zombie World. So he basically doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to have to go for the Banshee, right? With the Branded Fusion, because obviously you want to go for Albion with a Bestial Rebellion, which is much better than just going for this, which gets you a Mirror Jade Zombie World Pass, which is subpar. So maybe that's why he's playing 3 Zombie World, which again could make sense. 3 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster, and 1 Called by the Grave. I mean, Called by is fine. You don't usually run into Ash. Called by is like, it's funny that a card this good that is actually ban-worthy is in people's side decks right now. So the extra deck, everything is exactly the same as mine. Starving Venom, you have to play this card as an out. Titanic Lad, Albalandidus. Does he have a Starlight? Maybe. I can't really tell. How many Albions? 2? Yeah, 2 Albions is fine. 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Lubellion. I think that's perfectly fine. This is the real cope, guys. Wallow in Dark. So we're going to get to Wallow and Dark later. Why is he playing Rule Kalos? So he's playing Rule Kalos for Branded Banishment. So what you can do, Branded Banishment says to target a level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard or a Despia monster, special summon it to the field, then apply the following effect. Fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion summon from your extra deck using cards from either field, and if you do, banish those cards or something like that. So essentially, it's a banish super poly, and it can get you an additional normal special summon from the graveyard. So what you usually do with this card is like special summon back a Despia, fuse away that Despia monster with your opponent's monster, but you don't have to use your monster to fusion summon. So what you can do, if your opponent has a Kid Kalos and a Havness on the field, you summon back whatever, an Albion or an Albert or a Tragedy, then you banish both of your opponent's monsters to make your own Rule Kalos. That's huge. I think it's a really interesting and cool call. Like, if it's only the beginning of your opponent's turn, it becomes much more impactful because they haven't set up their graveyard yet to dodge that. So if they don't have a Bestial and you pull this off, it's very, very good. It's insanely good. That's one thing. Wallow and Dark. If you go into either one of these, you let go of your branded plays, which means that you can't use branded fusion for the rest of the turn, for the entire turn. Once you decide to link summon or Xyz summon. Is it better than the things that he doesn't have in his extra deck? I don't know. Like, he has all the cards basically that he needs in the extra deck. He's not really missing anything. So you do have the room for it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Just like as an additional juice, I suppose. If you do like end your turn with 2 Bestials on the field, maybe it works. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment what you thought about that. And yeah, the Rule Kalos, really cool. I really like that idea. Yeah, so basically this is Pack's list. I'm really happy to see more branded content out of like bigger creators and like pro players actually playing this deck and theorizing, because that's when the deck actually levels up a lot, when you have really good players testing it out and playing. So let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this video. Shout out to Pack. Go over, check out his channels. You already know this guy. I don't have to tell you anything. Thank you for watching. If you want to support the channel further, make sure you head over to tierzerogames.com to pick up new branded cards with Galzo 5% off your checkout. And of course, join as a member if you want to support the channel further. Exclusive live streams, emojis, awesome badges. Just hit the join button below to learn more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.